All right, this is Roman Gennaro back for another session of Power Rankings. We're still on our quest to get through jersey numbers 1 through 30 in our Power Rankings. We're almost there. Now we're going to show you how Bruce and I stacked up jersey numbers 12 down to 7. We only have one more video after this one, so I want to get you out to that one. Here are jersey numbers 12 through 7. Enjoy. All right, the big 1-2.
Come on, man.
Yep.
You know who it is.
But go for it.
That dude. The GOAT.
The GOAT.
Tom Brady.
The man.
Thomas Edward Brady. as
Tampa
says.
Tom.
Tampa Tom. Oh, you're asking me now?
No.
Oh, no. Don't do
No.
that.
It bothers me when these guys put up the graphics of pick a starting 5 to beat this team, and it's like Shaq, but he's in a Suns uniform, and it's like, why? What are we doing? No, I'm going to go... I agree with you. But there's a lot of options here as well. You have Terry Bradshaw, who I loved. He was before my time, but I loved, watching the Steelers. Roger Staubach left the NFL to serve in the military and then came back.
Crazy.
I want to get his jersey on my wall. I don't have it yet, but it's just because it means so much to me. He's not an all-time great, but the number 12 will always be synonymous with my family. Kenny the Snake Stabler. He's my grandfather's cousin. My grandfather was my dad's stepdad, so we're not related. But my grandfather was one of my favorite people in the world, and my brother's first name is Stabler. And so just to see that 12, whenever the Raiders are on national television, our mutual friend Evan always texts me with a picture. It's like, I found him, here he is, and it's just Stabler 12. And I don't necessarily think about Kenny. I think about my grandfather. So that's why I was tempted, but it's Tom. You got to go Tom. And woo. And anyway, all right, let's go to 11 real quick. I'll let you go. I'll let you hit 11.
I got the infamous, problematic, but ever so talented Kyrie Irving.
Ooh.
I know you don't like him.
That's interesting. I don't dislike him. I think he's
ball handling.
That's another conversation.
Yeah.
I went a couple ways here. I didn't pick 2. I could have. My gut reaction was to pick Barry Larkin, one of my favorite players growing up, one of the greatest shortstops to ever play. There's a story about why his son chose basketball. Mm-hmm. Shane Larkin played in the NBA for several years. Mm-hmm. His son was a big baseball fan, and he grew up around the Reds of the 90s, the second coming of the Big Red Machine. You had Barry Larkin, you had Jose Concepcion, you had Tony Perez, and all those guys. And Shane Larkin was on the path to be a baseball player. He played Little League, and his Little League coach told him, whoever taught you how to hit doesn't know what they're talking about, without realizing that the people that taught him to hit were MLB All-Stars. And Shane went home crying and never picked up a baseball bat again. And so he picked up a basketball instead. But I did not go with Barry Larkin, despite how much I wanted to. I went with a guy that played in the NHL for an unprecedented 25 years. Mark Messier.
Okay.
Mark Messier, number 11. But Barry Larkin was a close second.
Okay.
The next one's a popular number, but it was hard for me to narrow it down. And then with everything that's going on right now, it became more and more obvious. Number 10, I'll go first. For me, it's Messi. It's Lionel Messi.
Messi's definitely that dude. Yeah.
Was that who you picked?
So I had 2.
You had 2.
I had Eli.
Eli's a good one.
And Messi.
You had Eli and Messi. That was my other one.
I gotta give Eli his due. Just with how unsettled and angry he made me in his ability to dethrone Tom Brady those 2 times.
Were you that big of a Tom Brady fan?
I was a Tom Brady guy, man.
Did you root for the Patriots all those years because it was Tom?
I was one of those.
I thought you're a big Heat fan. I thought you'd be a Dolphins guy.
Nah. That was solely a Dwayne Wade thing.
I gotcha. So your stuff is like me with the Colts. I have no reason to like the Colts.
It was player driven.
Yeah, no,
It was player
exactly.
driven.
Exactly.
And so soon as Brady came in for Bledsoe that year, and he started doing what he was doing, I was a fan.
Well, you know your man Brady wore 10 in college.
He did.
And if you ever watch that Michigan tape, he looks the same.
Yes.
It's like you knew this was coming.
Yes,
Like,
he knew this was coming. That boy was nasty.
all right, this is a good one. Number 9. It's not one a lot of people think about, but there are 2 all-time options in 2 different sports for me. But I'll let you go first.
All time.
There are 2 all-time options for me.
To me, this guy is all time. Drew Brees.
Ooh, that's a good one. I thought about him earlier today. It's a good one, but I can't pick him because of the 2 that I have here.
Yeah.
1, his nickname is literally Mr. Hockey, Gordie Howe.
Okay.
3rd all-time in goals, behind only Wayne Gretzky and Alexander Ovechkin.
Mm-hmm.
And Alexander Ovechkin will probably next year break the unbreakable mark of 892 goals by Wayne Gretzky. I can't believe it's probably going to happen. But that's Gordie Howe was 1, Mr. Hockey. He was the toughest of the tough. Like, they didn't even wear helmets back then. He was the king of fights. Like, it was.
Wow.
The other one is, we talked about him earlier. You in a profession where you fail 7 out of 10 times and you're considered great. Ted Williams, greatest hitter of all time.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Ted Williams.
Ted Williams.
Ted Williams.
Greatest hitter all time.
Yeah, I'd say so. You could also argue Hank Aaron, and I probably think you'd think that I would go that way.
Yeah.
Because of my bias.
Yeah.
But Ted Williams had a career average above 400, which I literally think maybe one other person has.
Oh, wow, because you're talking average now.
And he left the league to go serve in the Army during World War II and came back. It's Ted Williams and Gordie Howe. For me, if I had to edge one out, I would pick Ted Williams as the one. If I had to go with one, I would pick Ted Williams, but I couldn't ignore Mr. Hockey, 3rd all-time in goals. All right, I think I know where both of us are going here. The man right behind you. I don't know if you can see. I don't know if you can see the whole picture on the camera here, but let me just lift this up so you get a full view of what we're talking about. There he is.
That was obvious as
the man,
23.
Kobe.
Legend, Mamba.
Like, and that goes, and like we've said, you know, there's as much an argument for 24 as there is for 8.
Mm-hmm.
As far as Kobe, he played 10 years with one and 10 years with the other. The points were eerily similar, but for you and me, we are older millennials, and that's who we knew.
Mm-hmm.
And I told you when you walked in here, I said that is the poster that I ripped out of Sports Illustrated for Kids and carried in my backpack on the bus. Like, there were a lot of posters I could have gotten, but I wanted that one. Mm-hmm. And so for me, it's Kobe. The only other one that came to mind, there are a lot of great options for 8. Yogi Berra, Troy Aikman, Alexander Ovechkin, who we just talked about, who will probably become the all-time leading goal scorer, a record that many people thought was never going to be broken. Cal Ripken, a record that won't be broken, 2,131 straight games. But it's Kobe. It will always be Kobe. 24's never looked right to me.
Yeah.
It's Kobe. 7.
Going hoops here.
You're going hoops.
Yeah, slept on.
I'm trying to.
Not iconic, but
Trying to think.
The mystique of this player.
Think who you're gonna say.
Could have led to something iconic as Brandon Roy.
Right before you said it.
He was feeling it.
I was sitting here going, Lamar Odom? And then you said, what could have been?
Yeah.
And we talk about that all the time.
Yes.
Brandon Roy.
Man.
Brandon Roy. Oh my gosh.
His playoff performances, I was just waiting on him to explode as a player.
No, for me, I'm going in the Wayback Machine. One of the greatest in any sport ever. Had a song written about him. Say hey, Mickey. Mickey who? You know who. Mickey Mantle.
Mickey Mantle. Oh, he was a number 7.
He was 7. And there's a story about that too. Mickey Mantle had a huge rivalry with Joe DiMaggio, who who was an older veteran when Mickey got there as a young, cocky kid. And the Yankees wanted him to wear 6 to be right behind Joe DiMaggio. They wanted him to wear 6. He refused to do it because he hated Joe. He did not like Joe. And he couldn't wear 4. It was retired. He couldn't wear 3. It was retired. He couldn't go in front of Joe. So he chose 7 just to spite the Yankees and say, I'm not following that guy.
Petty.
One of the best slept-on sports movies. I think it's on. You should go check it out on HBO Max. I think it's called 61.
Okay.
It was directed by Billy Crystal, and not a lot of people know about it because it was like an HBO original, and it's about Roger Maris's chase for 61 homers, which was the record at the time in 1961.
Mm-hmm.
And Mickey plays a huge part in that because he was part of the race that year. And I was talking to my dad about this last night. Barry Pepper, who plays Roger Maris in the movie, is the most eerily accurate casting choice for any real-life person I've ever seen in my entire life.
Really?
Go look up like pictures of Barry Pepper and Roger Maris side by side. It will scare you.
Okay.
Like it's not even. It's eerie. And there was no like prosthetics. They didn't change his look. That's just how he looks.
Okay.
So for me, it's Mickey Mantle. Say, hey, Mickey. Mickey who? You know who? Mickey Mantle. All right. So that's all we have for the jersey numbers 7 through 12 or 12 through 7, however you want to look at it, because we are going in descending order. So we only have one more video, and it's the final 6 numbers. Let us know of the numbers we covered in this video, 7 through 12. Who are your all-time athletes to wear that number? And what do you think of our lists? Which one of us, Bruce or myself, has the better list? Just anything you want to talk about in regards to jersey numbers. I want to thank Bruce for taking the time out of his schedule a couple months ago when he stopped by to do this with us. And we only have one more video in this jersey number series. Stay tuned for that.